Now, moving forward, if you see, this is how our course looks like. This is a course like outline. So the syllabus areas and their relevance to audit stages. This is the reason why we designed audit stages and the process flow in the earlier slide so that we can create a link between these your syllabus areas and the audit stages and your chapter number and their references. Okay. So code of corporate governance, it's one of your most important syllabus areas. Okay. Audit stages. Code of corporate deficiencies can be. So code of corporate governance basically are quite set of rules that your companies need to follow or companies need to apply for good corporate governance, for good up for compliance for compliance checks. Okay. And if they are not following the code of corporate governance, so there might be deficiencies or issues now in your corporate governance, the way they govern within with the way they govern. So one of the examples could be the CEO and chairperson of the board should not be the same person. There should be a different chair. There should be a different CEO, because if it's the same person, so it's like you're giving one person excessive authority to manipulate the policies. So that one person will be so powerful that he could play around with the company's policies, and that should not be the case. Okay, so there should be two different person for these for no two different persons. Yeah, for CEO and chairperson's roles. So if there is one person, that's one type of deficiencies, and these deficiencies can be identified at any stage, but mostly at the planning and risk assessment stage. Okay. Deficiencies are reported at reporting stage. So how would you report the deficiencies? Just give me a Yeah. How do you report the deficiencies? Deficiencies are reported at the reporting stage in management letter or cover letter, depending upon the nature. So, management letter, if you feel that these deficiencies are halting the company system, then you go about telling them in the management letter. Okay. Management letter is a letter to your those charged with addressing it to those charged with governance, your board of directors. Code of ethics, again, not specific to any stage, can ethical issues can arise at any stage, I'm telling you. It depends on the nature of the threat and the circumstances in which this threat was occurred. So code of ethics is again not very specific to any particular stage. And these threats can arise at any point of time. And your chapter number 4 is relevant to this syllabus area and this audit stage. Okay, so there is no particular audit stage for it. Planning and risk assessment stage, as the name suggests, your syllabus area is exactly based on the name of the stage itself. So there's absolutely no difference between the name itself as well. Same name, same syllabus area. Chapter number 5 and 6 are your relevant chapters for this. Then you've got internal controls. You have got audit planning stage, identify the design and implementation and the relevant control risk. Audit testing stage, you've got sorry, audit testing stage, response to control deficiencies, test of controls, audit reporting stage. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. Hello. Back, everyone. So I'm back. Okay. So where were we? So we were at internal controls. So internal controls include so they are relevant to three different stages. Audit planning stage. So what's the relevance between this syllabus area and audit planning stage? That you are supposed to identify and the design and implementation, and you basically you need to understand the controls associated with the company. That's it. That's what you do at the planning stage, so that you can come across different control related risk. Okay. So that when you have identified control related risk in the audit testing stage, you can respond to those risks. And responding to those risks means test of controls. Okay. And in your audit reporting stage, you can communicate improvements or recommend improvements to those control related deficiencies or problems in the management letter. Okay. So this is quite a huge area. You see, the relevance is to three different stages. And chapter number 8 and chapter number 9 are your chapters for internal controls. And lastly, audit evidence is different and audit reporting is different. So audit evidence is like you need to obtain the evidence so that you can perform the procedures. Your evidence should be sufficient and appropriate. Sufficient means it should be the quantity that should be good enough, and evidence means the quality should be good enough. So testing stage is where the auditor performs substantive tests. um, and chapter number 7 and 10 are relevant for audit evidence, audit procedures. Completion and reporting stage, again, the auditor report, the audit opinions, modified, qualified, modified, unmodified that we did in the previous slide. So your relevant chapters are chapter number 11 and chapter number 12. So that's how your syllabus area is designed, and we try to link it with the audit stages that and the process flow that we discussed in slide number 4 and slide number 5. So far, does anybody have any questions at all? Feel free to ask, raise your hands if you want to.